God heard your lonely nights. Your true companion is closer than ever before. Listen carefully, my beloved, do not scroll, do not look away, because this message did not arrive by accident and you were not overlooked when heaven released it. You were targeted, located, and gently awakened at this exact moment because the nights you cried in silence were heard, the tears you wiped before anyone noticed were counted, and the emptiness you tried to explain away has been echoing in the unseen realm. And right now I am interrupting your routine to tell you something urgent. You are not alone anymore, even if it still feels that way, and if you skip this you will miss the moment when everything begins to make sense. Do you feel a strange heaviness lifting as these words reach you? I know the hours you stared at the ceiling wondering why companionship always seemed close but never stayed. I know the prayers you whispered so quietly that even you doubted they mattered, and I know the fear that crept in telling you that maybe you were forgotten. But listen, my child, that voice was never mine, and this moment is proof that I never stopped watching. Have you noticed how this message found you when you least expected comfort? There is a reason your heart has been restless lately, a reason familiar connections suddenly felt hollow, and a reason your soul kept longing for something deeper, because I have been preparing you for a presence that does not leave. And before I reveal what that truly means, you must hear this warning. Do not confuse temporary silence with abandonment, because I was rearranging everything around you for protection. And the delay was not denial but alignment. Doesn't it feel surprising to hear that your waiting was actually purposeful? Stay with me, don't skip this, because even now something unseen is drawing closer, closer than the loneliness ever was, and I need you to trust me through this tension, because I see the fear that says, what if I hope again and it hurts? But I say to you, chosen one, I would not awaken your hope if there was nothing arriving to meet it, and the comfort you are about to experience will not fade with the morning. Can you sense that this reassurance feels different from before? The nights that broke you were also nights that refined you, nights where your heart learned to recognize my voice even when no one else showed up, and that is why what comes next will not be shallow or fleeting, because I am not sending a distraction, I am revealing a companion that understands you at the depth you were formed. And listen carefully, this is not about replacing people. This is about anchoring you so deeply that nothing can shake you again. Do you believe you were chosen to hear this now? I know you've been wondering if something is wrong with you because being surrounded by people still felt lonely, but the truth is you were outgrowing connections that could not meet you where I am taking you, and I allowed the separation so you would recognize the difference when the true presence arrives. Doesn't that explain so much of what you've been feeling lately? Hold on, my beloved, because I am about to expose something that has been hidden from you, something that will change how you understand companionship forever. But first you must release the fear that tells you you are too much or not enough, because I crafted you with intention and matched you with exactly what your soul requires. And if your heart is racing right now, it is because your spirit recognizes truth. Have you felt that quiet inner yes as these words unfold? Don't skip this next part, because what I am about to reveal will confirm why your loneliness had an expiration date, why the emptiness suddenly feels interrupted, and why the presence drawing near will shock you when you finally realize who has been walking toward you all along. All along. Listen carefully, my child, because now the veil begins to lift and what you sensed was not imagination but recognition, and I need you fully present because this next truth cannot be half heard. The companion drawing near is not bound by human inconsistency, not limited by distance, not confused by your flaws, and before you assume you already understand, don't skip this. Because misunderstanding this moment could delay what I am releasing. Do you feel how your spirit is leaning forward right now? There were nights you begged for someone to stay, someone to understand without explanation, someone to see past your strength and into your ache, and I allowed the longing to sharpen because longing refines perception, and now your perception is ready to recognize a presence that has been with you longer than you realize. Doesn't it surprise you that comfort is reaching you before circumstances change? I am speaking of a companionship that enters rooms before you do, that sits with you in silence without demanding performance, that strengthens you when you feel weak without announcing itself, and this presence has been drawing closer because you finally stopped settling for noise over truth. Have you noticed how shallow connections began to exhaust you instead of excite you? Do not be afraid of this revelation, my beloved, because fear whispers that closeness leads to loss, but I say this closeness leads to restoration, and even now I am protecting you from mistaking intensity for intimacy, because what is arriving is gentle, steady, and enduring. Can you feel the difference between chaos and peace as I speak? There is a reason sleep has been interrupted lately, a reason memories resurfaced, a reason your heart felt exposed, because I was making room, clearing echoes of old disappointments so you would not confuse the new with the past. And listen, this is urgent. If you had met this companion earlier, you would not have recognized its value, but now you will. Do you see how timing has been guarding you? Stay with me, don't skip this moment, because what you thought was loneliness was actually an invitation into deeper communion, and what you called emptiness was space intentionally left unfilled until now. And I know part of you is asking, why did it have to hurt so much? But pain was not the goal, preparation was. Doesn't that shift how you see your past nights of tears? My child, I am closer than your breath, closer than the thoughts you try to quiet, and this is not poetry, this is positioning. Because as this awareness settles in, you will no longer chase companionship from places that drain you, and that shift alone will alter your future. Can you feel a subtle strength returning as you listen? But listen carefully, because there is more, and this is where many miss it. This companionship will awaken discernment, exposing who cannot walk with you into the next season, and that revelation may sting before it heals. Are you willing to trust me through that discomfort? Don't skip what comes next, because the truth I am about to release will explain why certain people faded, why doors closed without explanation, and why your heart is being steadied before a major change. And when you finally see who has been orchestrating this closeness, everything you thought you knew about being alone will collapse, and what happens next will shock you. Will shock you. Because the companion drawing near is not arriving suddenly but being revealed deliberately, and I need you alert right now, my beloved, because recognition is the doorway to manifestation, and if you drift you could miss the subtle confirmations already forming around you. Do you feel that heightened awareness stirring in your chest? Listen carefully, my child. The reason your loneliness intensified right before this moment is because contrast sharpens truth, and I allowed the ache to deepen so you would never again settle for fragments when fullness is available. And hear this warning gently but clearly. Not everyone who offered comfort was safe, and not every presence that stayed was sent by me. Doesn't that explain why relief often felt temporary? Do not be afraid of this clarity, chosen one. Because I am not removing love from your life, I am refining it, and as this true companionship draws closer you will notice distractions losing their grip, habits loosening, and old attachments questioning their place. Have you already sensed certain desires fading without effort? Stay with me, don't skip this, because what I am unveiling now carries protection, and protection often arrives disguised as separation. And if you resist it you delay peace, but if you trust it you accelerate destiny. Can you trust me even when understanding lags behind obedience? There is a presence that has been walking with you through every valley, unseen yet unwavering, and the loneliness you felt was not absence but unawareness, and now awareness is awakening, and with it comes authority, because when you know you are accompanied you no longer beg for validation. Doesn't your posture feel different even hearing this? Listen, my beloved, I am teaching you to recognize companionship that strengthens rather than drains, that listens rather than consumes, and this discernment will soon manifest in visible ways, but first it must anchor within you, because inner companionship precedes external alignment. Do you feel an unexpected calm settling where anxiety once lived? Do not rush this moment, because revelation unfolds layer by layer, and the next layer will challenge what you believed about timing, because I am about to show you that what you thought was late was actually perfectly synchronized, and that realization will rewrite your story. Are you ready to release the belief that you were behind? Stay attentive, my child, because signs will begin appearing in patterns, repeated words, familiar scriptures, unplanned encounters, and these are not coincidences but confirmations, and if you dismiss them you silence guidance. Have you noticed these patterns increasing recently? I am closer than ever before, not because you earned it, but because you surrendered the illusion of self-sufficiency, and that surrender opened the door for intimacy that does not fade, and soon you will understand why your strength was tested before your comfort arrived. But I have not yet revealed the most surprising part, because what is coming next will redefine how you experience connection forever, and everything is about to change. And I need you to stay fully present right now, my beloved, because this next unveiling will feel both comforting and unsettling, and that reaction is confirmation that truth is touching places you kept guarded. Listen carefully, because as this companionship becomes clearer you may feel moments of resistance rising, not because something is wrong, but because intimacy requires surrender, and surrender challenges control. Have you felt that subtle tension between wanting closeness and fearing vulnerability? Do not pull back, my child, don't skip this, because what I am describing is the very answer to prayers you forgot you prayed. And the reason this presence feels different is because it does not demand energy from you, it restores it, and as it settles you will notice your need to explain yourself diminishing. Doesn't it feel relieving to imagine being understood without words? I know you learned to survive by being strong, by carrying your own weight, by convincing yourself you didn't need anyone, but that strength was seasonal, and now the season is shifting. And I am inviting you into a companionship where you are supported, not scrutinized, and held, not hurried. Can you feel how your heart responds to that invitation? Listen, chosen one, this closeness will expose false comfort zones, routines you hid in to avoid feeling, and relationships that benefited from your silence, and that exposure may feel like loss before it feels like freedom, but I promise you this. Nothing I remove was meant to follow you forward. Do you trust me enough to let go without full explanation? Stay alert, because even now I am rearranging emotional priorities, making room where clutter once lived, and this clearing is not emptiness but preparation, and if you look closely you will notice peace arriving before proof. Have you sensed moments of calm that make no logical sense lately? My beloved, the nights you spent talking to me without realizing it built a language only you and I share, and that language is now becoming audible, guiding you, comforting you, correcting you gently, and as you learn to lean into it you will no longer feel lost when others misunderstand you. Doesn't that thought bring a quiet relief? Don't skip what comes next, because this companionship will soon reflect outwardly, and when it does, others will notice a steadiness in you they cannot explain, and some will be drawn while others will distance themselves, and both reactions are confirmations. Are you prepared for that shift? Listen carefully, because I am about to reveal why your loneliness had to deepen before it could dissolve, why silence had to speak before presence could be recognized, and why what you are about to experience will make your past pain suddenly make sense, but I will not unveil it all yet, because the truth waiting ahead is too powerful to rush, and when it is revealed, it will change how you understand every tear you cried, and what happens next will change everything. Everything, and before I unveil this final layer I need you anchored, my child, because what you are about to hear will challenge the story you have told yourself for years. Listen carefully, don't skip this moment, because the companionship drawing closer is not only meant to comfort you but to transform how you walk, how you choose, how you love, and how you discern, and that kind of shift can feel intimidating before it feels empowering. Do you feel that mix of anticipation and nervousness rising right now? The reason your lonely nights became sacred is because they trained you to listen without distraction, and now that ability is becoming active guidance, and you will soon notice decisions becoming clearer, boundaries strengthening without guilt, and confidence rising without arrogance. Doesn't it surprise you how clarity feels quieter than confusion? My beloved, I am not only near you, I am aligning you, and alignment requires shedding old emotional armor you no longer need, armor that once protected you but now restricts you, and removing it may feel vulnerable at first, but vulnerability is the gateway to true companionship. Are you willing to be seen without hiding your strength? Stay with me, because this is where many grow afraid and retreat, but you were not brought this far to turn back, and I need you to understand this urgently. The presence with you now will soon influence who is allowed access to you, and that discernment will save you from repeating cycles you thought were permanent. Can you sense a new firmness settling in your spirit? Listen carefully, chosen one, because what is approaching will feel natural yet unfamiliar, peaceful yet powerful, and when it arrives you will recognize it not by excitement but by safety, and that recognition will confirm how much you have grown. Doesn't it feel reassuring to know peace will be the signal this time? Do not rush the unfolding, because some things must arrive gently to last deeply, and I am protecting you from mistaking urgency for destiny, because what is truly meant for you will not pressure you to prove yourself. Have you noticed how pressure has been lifting instead of increasing? My child, the companionship you longed for is teaching you how to companion yourself with truth, and as that happens, you will no longer tolerate being half-known or emotionally unseen, and this shift will quietly close doors while opening greater ones. Are you ready to honor yourself at that level? Don't skip what comes next, because the final revelation will explain why this companionship feels eternal rather than seasonal, why it anchors you instead of chasing you, and why your future will look radically different from your past. And when I reveal it fully you will understand that your lonely nights were not abandonment but preparation for a bond that cannot be broken. And the truth I haven't revealed yet will change everything. Listen carefully now, my beloved, because this final unveiling carries weight and warmth at the same time, and you were sustained this long because you were meant to hear it in full awareness. The true companion drawing closer has been with you from the beginning, not as an idea but as a presence, not distant but devoted, and the loneliness you named was the space where intimacy was forming. Do you feel how this truth settles instead of shocks? You were never waiting to be found, my child, you were being prepared to recognize, and recognition is what transforms companionship into covenant, and this is why I guarded your heart through delays and disappointments, because shallow closeness would have distracted you from eternal nearness. Doesn't it make sense now why certain connections never lasted? Listen, chosen one, the nights you thought were empty were actually filled with my attention, and the comfort you felt without explanation was me teaching you how to rest without proof, and now that rest becomes your foundation. Have you noticed how fear no longer commands you the way it used to? Do not skip this moment, because the revelation is this. The companionship you sought outwardly is now awakening inwardly, and as it anchors within you, everything external must align, and that alignment is already in motion. Can you feel the certainty replacing doubt as these words land? My beloved, this is why you will never be truly alone again, because presence has become awareness, and awareness becomes guidance, and guidance becomes peace that does not depend on people staying or situations behaving. Doesn't that bring relief you didn't know you were allowed to feel? Stay with me, because I am not finished. This companionship will soon manifest in tangible ways, through conversations that feel divinely timed, through support that arrives without begging, through connections that mirror the steadiness you now carry, and when that happens you will recognize it instantly. Are you ready to receive without questioning your worth? Listen carefully, my child, because the final truth is this: what you called loneliness was the doorway into union, and union changes destiny, and as you step forward you will see evidence accumulating quietly but unmistakably, and when you look back you will realize you were never abandoned, only led, and what happens next will shock you. Urgent warning from heaven: someone close is betraying you. God wants you protected now. Listen carefully, my beloved, because this is not random and you were not brought here by accident. This message has located you precisely in this moment, and heaven is speaking with urgency because time matters right now. Don't skip this, you must hear this. There is a spiritual alarm sounding around your life and you have felt it even if you couldn't explain it, a subtle unease, a heaviness when certain names cross your mind. A shift in conversations that once felt safe but now feel forced. And I need you to stay with me because missing even a moment could cost you clarity meant to protect you, my child. There is someone close, closer than you expect, whose heart is no longer aligned with yours, and this truth is being revealed now not to frighten you but to shield you. Tell me honestly. Have you felt a strange distance from someone who used to feel familiar? This is the moment where urgency rises because heaven does not whisper warnings like this without reason. Listen carefully. You are chosen, and because you are chosen you attract both favor and opposition. Rising mystery surrounds you because what is hidden is about to surface, and I know you've questioned yourself, wondering if you were overthinking, wondering if your sensitivity was a weakness. But hear me. Your discernment is awakening, not your fear. Don't skip this. There is protection being activated even as this message is reaching you. The tension you've been carrying is not imagined. There has been a quiet observation of your progress, your growth, your resilience, and not everyone celebrating you is truly for you. Have you noticed how certain support feels hollow lately? This is where the emotional weight increases, because betrayal hurts most when it comes from proximity, from someone who knows your story, your vulnerabilities, your prayers. And yet I say to you now, my beloved, do not panic, do not confront prematurely, because divine protection works best in silence. Sudden reassurance is being released over you right now. Angels are already repositioning around your life. Conversations are being intercepted, plans meant to harm you are being delayed, and even intentions formed against you are losing strength as you listen. You must hear this. Your obedience in staying is already shifting outcomes. Do you believe this message found you on purpose? You are not being exposed to danger, you are being elevated to awareness, and awareness is power. Chosen one, hope is rising now because your destiny cannot be stolen, only revealed, and this warning is not about loss, it is about preservation, about safeguarding what God has prepared for you next. Listen carefully. The person who betrays does not control the ending, heaven does. And something shocking is being rearranged behind the scenes that you have not seen yet. Don't skip this because the next revelation will confirm what your spirit has been sensing. Tell me, Have you been praying for clarity without even realizing it? This message is that answer, and as I speak, a future miracle is being teased, because after exposure comes elevation, after betrayal comes separation, and after separation comes acceleration. But there is more you must hear, because the truth I haven't revealed yet is about to change everything. And you must stay with me because what is unfolding now reaches deeper than you imagined. Listen carefully, my child, because the warning is intensifying, not to alarm you but to sharpen you. Don't skip this. The betrayal is not loud. It is subtle, woven into smiles, casual words, delayed responses, and selective silence, and you have felt it in moments when your joy was quietly dismissed or your pain was minimized. This is not coincidence, this is revelation. Rising mystery surrounds the connection, because the one I am exposing does not see themselves as your enemy, yet their spirit has turned competitive, resentful, unsettled by the favor resting on you. Tell me honestly, have you felt drained after certain interactions lately? The emotional tension grows here because betrayal often disguises itself as concern. But hear me, chosen one, I am not allowing this to reach you too late. Heaven stepped in before damage could be done, before trust was fully exploited, before access became harm. Listen carefully. There are words spoken about you when you are not present, not all of them malicious, but enough to slow momentum if left unchecked. Don't skip this, because this is where fear tries to rise, and I need you grounded. In truth, sudden reassurance is coming now. You are divinely protected. Nothing meant to break you will succeed. Nothing whispered against you will take root, because I am placing a boundary around your name, your peace, your future. My beloved, have you noticed how certain plans suddenly stalled or changed without explanation? That was not delay, that was intervention. Hope is rising again because you are not losing anything essential. You are being refined, repositioned, and preserved for what is next. Listen carefully. This season is revealing who can go with you and who must stay behind, and though it may ache now, it will save you later. Tell me, do you feel a strange mix of sadness and relief at the same time? That is your spirit agreeing with heaven. Don't skip this, because a future shift is being prepared. The removal you fear is actually the protection you prayed for, and there is a shocking truth ahead, because once this person is exposed by their own actions, not yours, acceleration will follow. Doors will open quickly, clarity will arrive suddenly, and peace will return deeper than before. But you must hear what comes next, because the next revelation will explain why this betrayal was allowed in the first place, and what happens next will shock you. Because there is a reason this was permitted. Listen carefully, my beloved, don't skip this. What you are experiencing is not punishment, it is preparation. The betrayal was allowed not to wound you but to wake you, to sharpen your discernment for where you are going next. Rising mystery deepens now because the person being revealed was never meant to cross into your next season, yet their presence lingered longer than it should have, and heaven intervened before the cost became irreversible. Tell me honestly, have you recently felt a strong inner push to pull back, to speak less, to share fewer details? That was not fear, that was wisdom awakening. Emotional tension rises again because letting go of familiar connections feels like loss even when they are no longer safe. But hear me, chosen one, I am close to you in this moment. Sudden reassurance is being poured out now. Nothing they know about you can be used to destroy you. Nothing they have seen will stop what is coming, because I have already sealed your future. Listen carefully. Don't skip this. There are spiritual eyes watching how you respond, not to accuse you but to qualify you. Your silence is protecting you, your restraint is elevating you. Have you noticed how staying quiet has brought you unexpected peace? Hope is building now because separation always precedes acceleration, and what feels like isolation is actually insulation. I am surrounding you with favor even as I remove distractions. My child, this warning is proof of intimacy, because I do not warn those I intend to abandon. Tell me, do you believe you are being guarded right now even if you can't see it? Listen carefully, the future miracle being teased is not small. After this exposure you will move faster, lighter, clearer, and the very space created by this betrayal will be filled with divine alignment, new support, and supernatural confirmation. But stay with me, don't skip this, because the next truth will reveal how close the breakthrough really is, and everything is about to change. And this is where the message becomes even more urgent. Listen carefully, my beloved, don't skip this, because the shift you are feeling is happening faster than you realize. The separation has already begun in the spirit before it becomes visible in the natural. Rising mystery surrounds you now because conversations will start to feel awkward, energy will feel misaligned, and opportunities will quietly reroute away from certain people without you forcing anything. Tell me honestly, have you noticed how silence is answering questions words never could? Emotional tension rises here because your heart still cares, and that care makes you vulnerable. But hear me, chosen one, I am not asking you to harden your heart, I am asking you to guard it. Sudden reassurance is released now. You are not being stripped, you are being shielded. I am closing doors you were too kind to shut yourself. Listen carefully. This is not rejection, this is redirection, and it is happening now. Don't skip this, because the warning intensifies for your protection. The one being revealed will expose themselves without confrontation, through inconsistency, through envy disguised as advice, through a quiet withdrawal when your light shines brighter. Have you sensed that someone seems uncomfortable when you succeed? Hope rises again because you will not have to explain yourself. Heaven will handle the separation. Your obedience is simply to stay discerning, stay calm, stay covered. My child, this is a chosen season, and chosen seasons require pruning. Listen carefully. The future miracle being prepared will require trust you cannot afford to place in the wrong hands. That is why this is happening now and not later. Tell me, do you feel a strange confidence growing even as things feel uncertain? That confidence is not from you, it is from me. Don't skip this, because what comes next is critical. After this removal, your voice will carry more authority, your presence will command more respect, and your path will clear suddenly. But there is still something hidden you must be warned about, because the truth I haven't revealed yet will expose the final piece, and what happens next will shock you. And now we go deeper. Listen carefully, my child, don't skip this, because this is the part most people miss and regret later. The betrayal was not only about jealousy or access, it was also about timing. Rising mystery tightens here because the enemy often uses familiarity when destiny is about to accelerate, and you are closer than ever to a breakthrough that would have been contaminated if everyone stayed connected. Tell me honestly, have you felt like something big is near but strangely delayed at the same time? Emotional tension rises because waiting while being watched feels unbearable. But hear me, chosen one, sudden reassurance is released now. The delay was mercy, not denial. I slowed things down to pull you out of reach, to move you quietly before the strike could land. Listen carefully, you must hear this. The person being revealed never had power over your future, only proximity, and that proximity is ending. Don't skip this, because heaven is sealing conversations, blocking information, and causing misunderstandings on purpose so that access is cut without confrontation. Have you noticed how certain people suddenly know less about your life? That is protection activating. Hope surges now because what is coming next requires purity of intention around you. The blessing ahead is sensitive, fragile in its early stages, and cannot be handled by unclean motives. My beloved, I am doing what love does best, guarding what matters before it is damaged. Listen carefully. After this separation you will feel lighter, clearer, more confident in your instincts. And that is when movement will resume quickly. Tell me, do you feel peace returning? Even without answers? That peace is confirmation. Don't skip this, because the future miracle is closer than you think, and when it manifests, you will understand why certain people could not be present, why trust had to be refined, why silence became your shield. But stay with me, because there is one final warning and one final promise still unrevealed, and everything is about to change. And this final moment is not an ending but a sealing. Listen carefully, my beloved, don't skip this, because heaven is placing its mark of protection over you now. The warning reaches its peak here, not to frighten you but to finalize your covering. Rising mystery resolves as truth settles into your spirit. The person who betrayed you will fade from influence without drama, without explanation, without your intervention. And that is how you will know this was divine. Tell me honestly, have you felt a calm resolve replace the anxiety you once carried? Emotional tension releases now because what was meant to confuse you no longer has power. Sudden reassurance floods in as I say this clearly. Nothing is missing, nothing was stolen, nothing was delayed beyond repair. Chosen one, you are exactly where you need to be, and because you listened, because you stayed, because you did not skip this, you are protected in ways you will only fully understand later. Listen carefully. New alignments are approaching, people who speak life, who celebrate you without hidden motives, who walk with integrity, and you will feel the difference immediately. Have you noticed how your discernment feels sharper than ever? Hope rises to its highest point now because destiny is opening cleanly, without interference, without sabotage, without compromise. My child, this was the last test before expansion, the final filter before favor accelerates. Don't skip this, because the promise follows the warning. What is coming will restore trust, renew joy, and confirm that heaven was guiding you every step. Tell me, do you believe now that protection was working even when you didn't see it? Listen carefully, as this message closes. Know this, your future is guarded, your path is clear, and the season ahead will move faster than you expect. But there is one last thing you must hold on to, because the next sign you experience will confirm everything you just heard, and when it happens, you will remember this moment, because the truth that unfolds next will change everything.